Yeah, but with the Twitch shit and YouTube, do you have like a certain end goal you want to reach, or is it just like you just want to create content as much as possible?
You know, these days I'm way more detached from the numbers than I used to be. I think when I first started.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. As far as the goals, like my goal, you know, because this has just been a tough year all around. So trying to keep up content with everything that's been going on, I've just been trying to make good content. And obviously, you know, like on Twitch, I would eventually like to get to the point, and just streaming in general, I'd eventually like to get to the point where there's contracts involved for streaming and whatnot, something that's kind of concrete. Because as long as you're doing this, you know, freelance thing, it varies month to month what you get. Yeah. So, you know, I'd like to get more stable there. But, you know, I'm just trying to make good content every time I set out to make a video these days, every time I set out to make a stream, because I feel like when I first started, there was like such an attachment to like, you know, how a video would perform, or even when I first started streaming, how a stream would perform. And, you know, you'll end up completely overlooking the fact that, you know, there's people sending you message afterwards like, hey, you know, these videos make my day better. This stream made my day better. And you can end up totally overlooking that if you're just like, oh, this shit flopped or whatever, you know? So my goal is these days to just make good content, make content frequently. And I'm just kind of going from there. And another thing is, you know, like on YouTube, I think there's like this, especially when you're like rapidly growing like I was when I first started, it's probably this fascination with one day trying to hit 1 million subscribers. And, you know, some people get there, some people don't. And the thing is, you know, you can see channels out there that have 1 million subs, but they're not doing nearly as good as like a channel with 200 or 300K.
Oh,
you know,
easily.
a channel can perform at a really high level with a low sub count. So if I spend years and years with this fascination of trying to get to 1 million subs, but I'm not even doing well anymore, like what was that worth? So always trying to get as big as possible, but the number goals, that's not really where I'm at these days.
Yeah, no, like 3 months ago, I was like really focused on the numbers, because I was at the point where I realized like, yo, I've been at 100K for a decent amount of time.
Right.
So I was trying to take it to that next level. So I was looking into like, you know, like when you go on YouTube and you just look up how to grow on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, those like YouTube tip videos. Like I was on that wave looking into the analytics heavy, and it worked to a degree. But like the past like 2 months specifically, especially since I started doing the face cam shit, I've been just like, yo, I'm just gonna talk my shit. And if the people enjoy it, the people enjoy it. If they don't, they don't. But I'm just gonna put out content out there, and it's been working out for the best. So
yeah. That's the mentality you gotta have, because I mean, it's good. Like I saw, you know, I specifically saw when Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter, kind of blew up. He said that, you know, there was specific analytics that, you know, helped him get to that point. But at the end of the day, YouTube feels really hit or miss. Like I don't know if you've experienced this before, but you can pour like hours and hours of effort into a video and not have it do as well as one that you just kind of came up with just on the spot. I've had that happen plenty of times before. Yeah. So I guess you know, like you said, you were hunting analytics and whatnot before. I was probably on that tip before too, and now I'm just trying not to force it, because when you force and shit don't work, you just get more frustrated, and then it takes away from the passion of it as well. And you know, when the passion dies for this, then I feel like people will be able to tell that as well from the product that's coming out. So.
No, like the what if video I did 2 months ago on LeBron, like if he went to the Pistons, like I dead ass planned that video out for 3 weeks, scheduled out like different days to record, and that shit was crazy. But it did well over time. But like just 2 weeks ago, I did like when Dame lost, or when the Blazers lost in 5. I pre-recorded a video that day. I'm like, yo, they're fucking losing in 5. I'm literally uploading this as soon as the buzzer hit, and that shit already has like nearly like 1.5 times the amount of views. It's a video I worked three weeks on. Yeah,
that's the way it happens. There's only so much you can really control. Like I feel like some channels obviously make it to that point where no matter what they post, it's gonna bang. You know, once you get to a certain size, no matter what they post is gonna bang. But when
like Flight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Flight, Agent Zero, hell, Kenny at this point, like, you know, they post what they post, and it's always, you know, it's gonna hit. But yeah, when you're still growing, it's really just best to, you know, just try to find, you know, the passion for it and just go from there. Because, yeah, like you just said, there's just certain things you just don't control, I think. Yeah.
So, what would you say is like I wouldn't say the biggest difference, but like, what do you like about Twitch more than YouTube?
It's not as stressful, you know. YouTube, I think Twitch is not as stressful as YouTube because it's a bit more consistent, even, I would say. So in Twitch, so I don't know if you look at who watches your channel on YouTube, but on mine at least, you'll see like it's a really small percentage of people that are actually subscribed to you that are watching your videos. Like most of my views come from.
It's like 30%.
Yeah. It's yeah. The first time I looked at it, I was shocked. I was like, damn, how am I still pulling views? Because like nobody who subbed to me is actually even watching. But on Twitch, it doesn't feel like that. On Twitch, it feels like people are actually coming there for you. You know, these are people that are sub to you. These are people that actually like to watch you. Whereas YouTube might just be somebody saw a thumbnail or they saw a title, and so they decided to click on the video, and they may or may not stick around. So I think Twitch is it's a little bit more consistent. You kind of know what to expect. You kind of know who's going to be watching you every day, and it's much more interactive. It's much easier to create content on there because it's kind of like a feedback loop between you and who's watching you. And my chat just happens to be funny as shit, so we have a good time in there.
No, shout out to all the Twitch success, because the numbers you're pulling, like, would you say that's equivalent to getting like 100K of it on YouTube, like translated into YouTube terms?
Yeah, I don't personally know the exact translation. Like I've heard things that were surprising. So you'll see sometimes in my Twitch chat it'll be, 1.5K, 2,000 people or whatever, and I don't know if y'all know the YouTuber TBH, the Black Okage. That's somebody I've been watching for a while. But he was talking about like the contracts that some streamers have pulling that same number of viewers, and I'm like, well, shit, where's my bag if that's the truth, right? Because, but to the best way I can answer your question is, yeah, you need significantly less viewers, obviously, on Twitch. That would be the equivalent on YouTube, because if you're doing like a couple thousand, anywhere from probably 1,000 to 3,000 on Twitch, you're probably killing it. Whereas obviously on YouTube, that range would probably be around like 100K. So yeah, even like 500 viewers a stream that's a decent amount of. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it fluctuates. It definitely fluctuates too. Some people you see, well, sometimes they'll have a couple of thousand people, and some days it'll be like maybe 500 or 600. So yeah, either way, yeah, on Twitch, I try not to. I don't let the views affect like my performance on there. Like if you'll notice when I stream, I don't have my view counter up. A lot of people have it like in the top left corner. I don't keep that up. I'm just trying to be entertaining for whoever took time to come to see me stream that day. So
that's a dope mindset to have.